Hey folks, happy 4th of July. It's Johnny Flynn, and just want to describe to you what's happening in Connecticut because obviously nobody knows, but on the screen, okay? This is prejudgment remedy number 45 to Judge Tierney. Judge Tierney's in charge of stealing your homes, and he recognizes fictitious loans to force foreclosure even when, if you look back, those loans are never existed. So I want to just give you a short glimpse of where we're at in the case on the big picture, which I don't normally talk about the big picture. I just say, hey, this is specifically what we did. Because we went after the Criminal Practice Commission, okay, which basically hunts whistleblowers in Connecticut. So every whistleblower that you've ever heard of is being hunted by the Criminal Practice Commission, Judge Reed and Judge White, who are woke, out of control, psychopaths, I believe, who torture you, put you through the mill, force medicate you, send you to Whiting. As I said, torture. If you're diabetic, they'll deny you insulin. Somehow it just won't get to you, okay? You can go to a clinic, they won't give it to you. They know that you're suffering from what they're doing. These people then chip you, inject you with biometric chipping, okay? I'm not the only one. Sherry has 13 chips. Autumn has 13 chips. Millicent Black has 53 chips. I have 20 chips. I'm not making this stuff up. So when you look at what we're doing, we went after the Criminal Practice Commission. Eugene Riccio on the Criminal Practice Commission allowed a law firm to steal a brokerage firm, and this is how they did it. I owned Greenwich Global LP, a Delaware corporation. They created Greenwich Global LLC, a Connecticut corporation. They got Denise Merrill on board with taking over the firm, stealing all the assets, and zeroing out the stocks at crossing trades at zero. And they did 500,000 felonies. So who did they harm? Well, they harmed a lady who's currently having a heart attack in Brooklyn in a hospital. Yeah, they harmed her. They harmed a guy, a woman who died in 2016. They harmed a guy who's 90. There's a lot of people involved with the torture end of this targeting system, and they're even going after, a 22-year-old. When you look at the facts, they are disturbing, and I want to say, yesterday we brought another action against something called, well, here's number 44, using Daniel Harwich at the State Bar Association, using Kelly Dryan Warren, using Patrick Carroll, Elizabeth Bizzuto, Judge Alexander, leading to what we just did yesterday. All this leads to what we did yesterday, which is the Criminal Justice Commission. What is the Criminal Justice Commission? They appoint the state's attorney, the chief state's attorney, the district attorneys, and they are woke psychopaths. And, they're coming after me anyway. I have a plan. I have a very good plan. And I'm so far ahead of them, they don't understand it, and that's fine. But we have a DA named Tamaccio. He needs to go to prison. We have a DA named Hallstrom. He needs to go to prison. Why? False arrest, destruction of Brady material, all by the judge involved, who was the probate manager of Stamford, using Jim Himes's staffer as a probate, as a, public defender. I said probate. I meant public defender. You can look at the facts. The facts are disturbing. Why would they beat a guy up, tell him to come to court, give him a court order to be in court, arrest him for criminal trespass when he gets there, and stand on top of him? I don't know. We'll see. We can't get the evidence. But what you don't know is that this whole thing got triggered when they put Corey Coopersmith in a coma, who designed a sniper rifle that were stolen by Mark Stern, who was murdered, leading to another murder and another murder. 3 attorneys got murdered so far. So I'm not going to say everything, but the governor's attorney got murdered. Why? Was he a whistleblower? Ron Chorches is involved, a trustee. Judge Manning is involved. I haven't even gone to these. The things that kick this off over time, you need to figure out where the due process violations outweigh, and the Constitution, in the Constitution state, how can they hunt whistleblowers? The evidence here of these murders, like the Stephen Barrier murder, caught on camera. Taser. I got him in the back. Oh, no tasers were used. Oh, the autopsy's falsified. Look at the Elizabeth Harding murder. Blunt force trauma to the head. Hey, she committed suicide. Yeah, right. Be very careful in Connecticut if you are a whistleblower. You need to talk to me right now. Call me, have dinner, come to my house. We'll go in the pool. We'll have a nice time. I'm guaranteeing you that if you don't have a meeting with me right now, okay, you don't know what's in store for you. There is a case in Connecticut that is enormous that we haven't even discussed. We don't talk about it because we can't. They OD'd many people. Many people. They OD'd who? In other cases, the Sam Magliore case. Take that one. That's a simple case of whistleblower from Stanford being very vocal about crimes he witnessed. What happened to him? What happened to his niece? It's all in the documents, folks. And it's all on the Criminal Practice Commission. It's all on the Sentencing Commission and the Criminal Justice Commission. Why? Because they appoint the DA. Oh, no, I can't do anything about Judge White. Really? So now it's on them. Now it's on Paul Forensic. Now it's on Rich Colangelo, who took a bribe in the Stephen Barrier murder. I'm told by an FBI agent. The FBI can't do anything in Connecticut because the state. Did you see Lamont's ad? Oh, we're going to protect you. Well, no, it's President Trump, this and that. Oh, my God. Excuse me. Mr. Trump, don't wait to fix Connecticut last. We have Attorney General Tong orchestrating this entire thing in every state. Attorney General Tong sued the president 55 times. But the the Attorney General of Massachusetts sued Trump 59 times. And Lamont is obviously freaking out because of SEMA-4, because of all these other things he's done. Okay, why do you think Paslick Gillette resigned? Why do you think the chair of the Deep resigned? Everything the Department of Environmental Protection touches in the state of Connecticut, it destroys. Look at Veteran Park in Norwalk, Oyster Shell Park, Ryan Park, for God's sake. Ryan Park had PCBs of 648. They had a vegetable garden. The people ate the vegetables from the most contaminated lot in American history. Look at Manresa, a 125-acre coal ash dump that is radioactive. What are they going to do? Oh, they're going to cap it. They're not going to clean it up. They're just going to cap it. And it's next to the oyster beds in Norwalk Harbor that you eat. And they are contaminated, I'm sorry to say. It's impossible that they're not. It is impossible that they not. They filter the water. They're a mollusk. They're drinking that sludge, the contaminant from Oyster Shell Park. Goes right into the oysters. Why do you think they call it Oyster Shell Park? Because it's at the lip of the leaching of contaminants. Is there any warning? No, there's no warnings. Here's the warning. Get ready. Get ready for what's going to happen in Connecticut, because we have a criminal practice commission attacking whistleblowers. They don't believe in ICE. They don't follow federal law. The cases have been filed. They're sitting on the docket. And the judges are instructing the clerks to destroy the evidence. I could take you to a case. Why don't I? Here's a terrible case. John Flynn against Attorney General Mark Kohler, who became Secretary of State, who committed election fraud. I was threatened by Ada Carini. Catherine Wall collected the bribes, 39, plus the Denise Merrill bribe. Kevin Ahern is the Attorney General Assistant who didn't defend the case. DePentima, Cradle, Suarez, Bright, they all need to go to jail with the Supreme Court Justice Mullins. Needs to go to jail for destroying 1,100 habeas corpus. Ted Bromley, perhaps the largest criminal in American history? Perhaps. Can't guarantee it, but I just want to show you the complaint on this case. I think it's motion 169. Hold on. Motion to strike. Answer, objection. Oh, amended complaint. Take a look at this. In the 2020 election, what happened? Norwalk hacked North Carolina. That's true. Trumbull hacked Hudson Town Clerk in New Hampshire and in Minnesota. Trumbull hacked 2 states. Meriden hacked Wyoming. Reading hacked Nebraska. Why would Reading, Connecticut hack Nebraska? Why would Berlin, Connecticut hack South Carolina? Wow, Colchester, Connecticut hacked Oklahoma on 11/4/2020 at 5:29 a.m., and they flipped 2,512 Trump votes to Biden by the Registrar of Voters. There's a lot of information in these cases, folks, and no one's aware of it. Orange, Connecticut hacked Stone County, Missouri. Who's from Orange, Connecticut? Yeah, Okay, Fairfield, Connecticut, hacked Georgia twice. Here it is. Georgia has all its physical ballots still from the 2020 election because a judge ordered their preservation. Now, with the cast vote record from Connecticut, we can prove which votes were flipped in the Georgia election by Connecticut because they have the hard copy and we have the hack. Why isn't Georgia suing Connecticut right now? I'll have no idea. Naugatuck hacked Wisconsin. Trump lost by 19,722 votes, and 272,000 were flipped in that state, Wisconsin. Naugatuck hacked Wisconsin, and Trump lost. Norwich hacked Kentucky. Norwich, Connecticut, hacked Kentucky. Danbury hacked swing state Pennsylvania, made Biden president. You can go on and on. Milford hacked Missouri. Milford hacked Missouri. Shelton hacked Minnesota. Minnesota, where all those Somalians are. Southington hacked Michigan. Shelton hacked Michigan. So Shelton hacked Minnesota and Michigan. 2 swing states. Shelton's dirty, folks. Yes, and so is the chair. And he's named as a defendant in this lawsuit. And his name is Win Oppel, who rigged the delegates and rigged the convention. And it's going to federal court. And now we're giving them an opportunity to double down and make things a lot worse. Because eventually, there is a person sitting in this chair who has a constitutional right protected by the Supreme Court that I have standing. So, if you have standing and you can aid us in proving that Connecticut hacked Colorado, Kentucky, Alabama, here we go, Maine, Massachusetts, Planet Fitness in Enfield, Connecticut. Who's in Enfield, Connecticut, Mary Ann Turner? Who's in Enfield, Connecticut, Mary Ann Turner? Co-chair of the GOP in Connecticut, lives in Enfield. Wow. And by the way, this is the tip of the iceberg. What's this? That's the website that holds all the information. So here we go. The Criminal Practice Commission, the Criminal Justice Commission. Who else? Who do you need to know about? Well, I can take you around and show you a few things, but I think we've heard enough. And if you look at certain cases, like the Ganem Gomes case, you will see that Judge Clark is committing treason every case that he brings on the docket because he allowed both Democrats to stuff the boxes. And I intervened in this case, the Bridgeport Ganem Gomes case, because Bridgeport destroyed 300 signatures of mine in 2022 and in 2024. So that's 600, plus the current ones, which are going to be destroyed. So here we go. I don't want to talk too much more, except the last final note I will talk about is Judge Crumrich, okay, who's been ruling against us for quite a while. But let me tell you what his role is in this court case. Judge Crumrich was DNC State Central with his wife of Greenwich in 2007 and 2008. When Congressman Jim Himes was chair of the Greenwich DNC. So what happens is Crumrich and Himes work together, and obviously it led to the $500,000 bribe from Mark Zuckerberg, which we can't really go into, except that Judge Crumrich, who's intervening in this case, illegally, I might add, as DNC State Central, working with the chair of Greenwich, who made Congressman Himes a congressman, who also used the tabulators, used Diebold, suppressed the ballot imaging, destroyed the original ballots, and destroyed the cast vote record, which proves that the race was rigged. And they do it pretty much every year. Not as much on the municipal elections, but there are municipal elections that are rigged, okay, which we've already proven. So as we prove all these things in all these cases all over the state, we need your affidavits of how you were harmed. So please do that. Be patriotic about it. Send it in. It's alarming to see how the GOP thinks they can honestly win when, in fact, the Democrats are using Dominion Liberty voting, which is no ink, for Seidel and for Tyler Technologies. Yes, what you need to understand is that Tyler Technologies runs the back office of the Connecticut court system, and it also runs the imaging for the news stations during the election day polling and the outcome of the elections, which is televised through Seidel, bounced off Barcelona, Spain, bounced off Toronto, Canada, using Serbian programmers, and their names are in the documents as well. So we have lots of problems created in America due to Connecticut, and only Connecticut, and they're coming here. There you go. Just save this video. Remember, freedom isn't free. And God bless America.